price of ignorance. I want to bring in people that would want to contribute based on this topic. Contributions, way forward. Family is supposed to be the basic unit of the society. But look at how families are being destroyed right in our faces, and we claim that we are serving gods of Adeboye, gods of Oyedepo, God of Kinikan, God of Taiwo Ojo. Look at what Taiwo Ojo is doing every day. Do you have experiences of something like this to share? I will open the channels now.
You've touched on a very sensitive topic.
And
like I said in the comment section, I wish a lot of men would lend their voice to topics like this, because it's a big elephant in the room. With the kind of job I do, I can only say that families are destroyed. Front destroyed. And very few understand the basic family, the basic
definition of family.
The basic function and moral values in family. What we are seeing is, in our own, let's break it down to our own society, to our own community. What we're seeing is people using, so mom and dad are no more the moral gatekeepers of the home. Instead, children are kind of prompted to look at social media, to look at celebrities, I would say, and celebrate or whatever it is. And it's not just Dudu Ati Oyibo. That becomes the criteria for moral values and moral gatekeeping. Now, you sang some songs and obviously took it down the video. Now, when we look at it, I think let us bring ourselves down to the kind of music we hear now. What is in the music that we hear? What are the lyrics? Not the beats, but the lyrics of the music. Okay? There's a particular music, I will just use that as an example. I remember writing about it. What it could be done for almost science students. You have songs like Kuruba, don't want this life to suffer. You know those kind of lyrics and stuff like that. Now, our children are dancing to this, and we know as humans, we are a product of what we hear. And that influences. Let's look at it. In the last 2 decades, being a well-behaved child or being a good citizen isn't what is being promoted anymore. Instead, it's all about
mo fẹ́ lówó ju dádì mi lọ.
The process of how to get that you see children on social media, even their parents encourage it. I don't know if you come across some videos on social media. How many parents don't tweet?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
And those music don't play and there was a particular one I think I saw that where the Agbalagbas were busy spraying those children. You know, that's the, and then when we come back to church, you see, we can blame church, we can blame mosque, we can blame but the diet come back for parents.
Ṣé ẹ jìnnà sí phone speaker ni? Excuse me.
Can you hear me?
Àwọn ará Facebook. Okay, Uncle Taiwo Lagunju ṣe ń gbọ́n sìn. Ẹ continue.
So, àti rí oríṣiríṣi and the kind of job tẹ́lẹ̀ ń ṣe, you know, if mo ṣe wà ní dúdú Okay? What we are saying is social media, activity, responsibility one left for social media. Activity, responsibility one left for Google. You touched on a very interesting topic when I joined. You were talking about Omotoshi Mesra Circle. Okay. Now, the kind of job I do, so I would say I'm a social worker and I work strictly with children and family. So we see quite a lot. I work with children from 0, born children up until 18. And I tell you, a lot of these children, they are approaching their poverty age. Our parents, they are not at home. Our parents, the one who live in short, all of us, let's even bring the lens down to ourselves. When we are in the house with our children, what are we doing? A lot of us as parents and our children, we are busy pressing phone. If we are not pressing phone, we are on now television is 24 hours. We are watching programs. All these things are not bad to do, but we just don't have that boundaries and routine anymore. I remember when I was growing up, I was born in the late 70s. I remember when I was growing up, the days of NTA.
Benny, funny. Ẹjọ́ ìgbà tí Galaxy náà open bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, black and white TV. Táwọn TV yẹn tóbi báyìí.
Yes, and the first thing you watch on TV when the TV comes on, they sing the national anthem, they do maths, English. You know, they do programs. So it promotes the brain development of children and promotes morals. You have songs like Ẹ̀kọ́ Dára Púpọ̀,
Ẹ̀kọ́ ló láyé ta bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
You know, then you have Ẹ̀sìn Ìbùkún. You know, you have, there's a lot of things that was going on TV that it's not about twerking. It's not about, there's a lot to it. But ní ìsìn kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Àwọn ọmọ wà lórí social media. Ìyá àti bàbá, àwọn náà wà lórí social media. There are some words, I remember even up until my age 20, someone kiss lórí television, ní who pẹ̀lú àwọn parents wà. Despite that level of openness, of race, of period. So, you menstrual period, almost every ìyá àti bàbá ẹ̀ gan wà lórí period. Àìsàn ìbéyà wọn almost every àwọn school, not ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wọn, not the sex education.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
You know, and as a parent, your children should learn anything first from you. In our own community, in wrapping up, you see with the African Nigeria, let me say African community, because I have done quite a lot with the African community. With the African community, we live in a world of desire. We believe that someone will marry, that is not true. We don't even teach our children basic things like contraceptive. We don't teach them basic things like even as simple as smell test, pap test. Midwives and pediatrician would back me up on this. If you have when a child is born, check the short napping, release sperm.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
For a girl, need touch of blood. Now, all these things are significant. As your children are growing, your children should understand their part of the body. They should understand the do's and don'ts of their body. But unfortunately, instead, we are trying to form who. And even the way we raise our children, maybe you will be to raise a body as a single parent. And I tell you, Omomi will tell anybody that cares to know, my mother is a typical Nigerian. Then because if it's I see it all. But if these are difficult conversations that our people do not want to hear. Our parents in I want to one in Nigeria no. Our form work. You know, our parents did this, our parents, okay, what are you doing? Meanwhile, I want for our service every day of the week. 1 year, So, there's a lot about, honestly, I don't have enough time, but there's a lot to this. But I don't see me. I think maybe if you have the time, maybe I'm more than happy to, because there's a big topic to have a conversation on. So, a lot of us as parents, we need, and we are failing our children. I have to be honest, we are failing our kids. There's a whole number, especially I want to jump by you don't want to see the number of their children that are caught up in the system. It is well.
Thank you so much for now. I will still bring you up. Mommy Omoyinmi Aduni, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ṣé wà ń bẹ̀.
Yeah, I'm very much around.
Hmm.
I'm here.
Hmm.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, ma.
The topic we have at hand this night is very, very emotional.
Yeah.
As a Nigerian, as a grandmother, if we are to talk about how we are brought up, we as grandmother, how we are brought up, we cannot achieve anything if we want to bring our children or our children's children that way. Because the whole thing, the whole world has turned 360 degrees. Like my brother who just left the platform just said,
sister.
Even it's worse here. Is it a sister?
Yes.
Yeah. Like what she just said before she left. It's worse here than overseas. Because here in Nigeria, we're always in the rat race. Everybody leaves home in the morning, the baba goes, the mother goes, and the children are left on their own. Some mothers do not know when they are the dates, time of their daughter's first period. They don't know. They don't know how that child gets whatever for a menstruation every month. And by adventure, how did it come by? It's even worse. Some would decide to take their children to boarding houses. I am a mother of 4 grown-up kids. I'm on me. Ìgbà tí wọ́n wọ university ni wọ́n kúrò lé láti pass. Ìgbà tí wọ́n wọ university ni wọ́n kúrò ní abẹ́ mi náà lọ sí university. Wọ́n kúrò lé rí. And I thank God that they are bringing up their own children that way too. But the society that wà nísìnyí ó ti kọjá àfaradà social media. In fact, ká ní pé mo ní orí ọ̀fẹ́ láti dá sí ìjọba wa ní Nàìjíríà ni. The first thing tí màá kọ́kọ́ ṣe ni pé ká tiẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ mójútó NCC náà. Because what is happening on the social platform is nothing to write about for our grandchildren, our youths, like what they call them, celebrities.
Ben.
You can imagine, almost 20 years. Only TikTok, someone 300 level. You can imagine that. Upbringing, lack of home training. You see, it is not about the government, like my sister said. It's about parental misogyny, parental carelessness, parental ignorance. Be chasing what is not worth chasing. Yes.
There's nothing worth chasing, nothing. Tó bá sọ pé torí ọmọ ló ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́, tó mójútó ọmọ yẹn, tó bá ní nǹkan tó ń wá yẹn, kí ló fẹ́ fi ṣe gbà tọmọ ti dàgbà. Tọmọ ti dọmọ ayé. And what our children, what they feel on the internet, on the social media.
Ẹ ṣe mọ̀ pé tí òbí bá wà available nílé, ṣe mọ̀ pé ó tún máa help ń gbà mí débi wípé the father can say, okay, children, ṣe mọ̀ pé communication between the parents and the children, it goes a long way in solidifying the trust of the children in the parents. But now that these parents are not even available at all. Yes, ma'am. But about link more time táwọn èèyàn ń lò láwọn unending programs yìí ń kọ́ mà. Ṣó ti yé yín mà? Because tẹ́ bá lọ sórí péjì Táíwò Òjé for examples Táíwò Òjó láàárọ̀ Monday tẹ́ bá rí bíbẹ̀ ṣe máa ń kún mà. Something is wrong somewhere. We have to start from somewhere.
Because the time to your coffee one, if you share coffee one, maybe your jawan, from a logical Siberia. Doing what? I don't understand. Doing what? Because
More reason tá a ṣe lè fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ tá a ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ sọ. The reason is that tẹ́yin bá ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tó yẹ kẹ́ ṣe ṣóye yín.
Yes,
Fọmọ yín tọmọ yín dẹ̀ ní right kìíní, but wọ́n ní evil communication will always corrupt good manners. Tí wọ́n wá dé school tí wọ́n rí àwọn ọmọ àwọn tó ń sá káàkiri ní church káàkiri. Eventually this evil force eventually most times more than 80% times overpower iṣẹ́ tẹ̀yin ń ṣe nílé.
definitely.
Nítorí ẹ̀ ni mo ṣe máa ń include wọn wípé àgbájọ ọwọ́ la fi máa ń sọ̀yà.
You have not heard the one at this school, this Deeper Life School. Sorry, Omopa.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
You've not heard.
Wọ́n sweep case yẹn under the carpet.
Okay.
Okay.
Where? Ṣé bí torí pé ọmọ lè ní good manners and upbringing lọ ṣe mú wọn lọ sí irúbẹ̀ yẹn? Àbí? What the children cannot achieve.
Madam,
I saw somebody too.
Sorry, let me say something.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I'm a woman. I think there's a point we are missing. There's a point you're missing here. Now,
military training many years.
Okay. I went to a boarding school, right? I'm 47. I went to a boarding school. Abiara you understand? Jerry mo jẹ́ ọmọ tó yẹ pé mo láyà. Ẹ̀mẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ sọ pé ọmọ ní àyà. Kò sí nǹkan tó máa ń dẹ́rù bà. You understand? Ìgbà tí mo wà ní university, even in secondary school, boarding school mo lọ. Ṣebí ọmọ tó bá fi sílẹ̀ ni ló máa ń ṣe lè tó. It took a village to raise me. Sherry, I get this for you. I lost my father when I was 5. Okay? And it took a village. When I say a village, it took a village to raise me. Me, but I won't walk back for me. You understand? Now, in boarding school, only one school, people see me about auntie me turn up, grandma me turn up, anybody don't turn up. So might be me, the lady woman show see. I understand. The same thing too happens in university. University, but for university, that was the day. Jennifer, not the series, the real Jennifer, whatever to shake by. If I university, because university needs to new. But on
the day tí màá jí láàárọ̀ tí màá jẹ́ òkè àwọn èèyàn náà tẹ̀lé sugar daddy jẹ́ kébì náà ṣe ó lè jọjọ́ yẹn ni ìyá mi á wá fọ̀ láti jọ adó ni mo ti lọ sí school wọ́n mi lè ṣàyẹ̀dẹ́ wá fọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wọ́n lè ní àwọn kọjá lọ báwo lèèyàn ṣe kọjá láti jọ ìsàdó. But the point still comes down to the home front. You see, all of these things for parents, church can do what they want to do. There will always be an outside influence. But tí ọmọ ò bá ní good communication nínú ilé. Tí ìyá bá ń bọ̀ bí àtọmọ wà nílé tí mọ́mí àti dáàdì tó yẹ kó wọ́n wà nílé tẹ́gbẹ́ the next day táwọn wọn bá ti kúrò mọ́mí àti dáàdì báyìí wọ́n fèrè gé. They don't have communication. You see, these things you cannot take it away. They expect the society by one train no more. Do you understand? Parents have a role to play. Tẹ́ bá tọ́ Bíbélì àbí Báìbù ṣe bí Báìbù náà máa ń gbé. Báìbù kan fún ara ẹ̀ ní ó ní tọ́ ọmọ rẹ kó bá lè fún wọn nísìnyí. Do you understand? Ìlú òyìnbó ni mo ti raise ọmọ mi ọkùnrin, ọmọ mi is 28. Ìlú òyìnbó mo ti raise ẹ̀ as a single parent. Olóògùn òyàyàkuyà èmi gan wà lé fún. Do you understand? And ìlú òyìnbó ló dẹ̀ wà difficult jù láti raise ọmọ.
Sister Aliroti, kí n fi kí nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ sọ ìlẹ́yìn, I have a very close friend of mine. When I say friend, a very true friend. She raised her boys herself in the UK. And when you see these boys, you will not believe that they grow up abroad. But she said something, said, Rotimi, if I had given my time to Anlosi Church, and number one, these pastors will be the one messing up my life. Number two, I wouldn't have enough time that I should have had with these boys. When they wanted my attention, I wouldn't be there.
Mo make sure pé gbogbo iṣẹ́ mi flexible work ni. School lẹ̀ títí dígbà tó wọ university wọ́n dá mi mọ̀ ní school lẹ̀. You understand? Cherry in Nigeria, I need house girl, I need domestic staff, I don't really show my mama told you. You know you go see there's none of those things. You have to do it yourself.
Oh yes.
Cherry even iṣẹ́ gbọ́dọ̀ describe in Nigeria. Pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ ìjọba and everything, there's still times that they can still make time to come home. You know, when it's 8 hours, it's 8 hours. 12 hours is 12 hours.
Yes.
You understand? But the point here is, like I said, the kind of job I do as a social worker, working with children and family, right? The failure we see, even below you see that the children that do not have the attention of their parents, you can see the lapses in those children. Because ọmọ tí ìyá ìjọba ò bá ti tọ́ nínú ilé, ìta bá tọ́, ìjọba náà àpẹẹrẹ bá tọ́. And that is what we're seeing. And that's what we're reflecting. We are reflecting back to the music that they're listening to. We're reflecting back to the content of TV. We're reflecting back to like the time that parents and children are spending on in religious environment. Okay, there was a time I think Baba Adeboye in Abiara way that there was a tweet, if I'm right, either a tweet or Facebook, whatever, I can't remember. And she had mentioned that Tom Obafe marry, the pastor needs to approve it first before the parents. Now, as a parent, why will the pastor approve who my child will marry? You understand? There are some children, they are not bold enough to have ordinary mommy. I have people's conversation with their parents. Some children, their home is a military home. The kids cannot speak to their parents. They can't even simple things like, "Oh, I'm feeling anxious." They can't even say it at all because the parents are, the problem where the way we are, even us as parents, the way we approach our children is, so when there is concern, because these children do not have that safe place to have conversation, what then happens is these children look out They look out to unadult, unsafe places to have those conversations with them. There is this thing that we want everybody to probably, if you have the time to go look at. It's called Erickson's psychosocial circle, where it tells you about the different age and stage of children and what to expect. Maybe that would help parents to understand the age and stage of their children and what is expected of their children and what their children expect of them in their circle of group.
Mommy or money me, over to you, a roundup.
I agree with what Emma just said. But the thing is, the situation here, the situation in this country boils down to to the responsibilities of parents to their children. If not that, I'm 1.5 years old. 1.5 years old. 1.5 years old. But because of the situation, and this is how the children grows up. I'm a grandmother. I have to come and be with my third child so that when she goes to work, I take care of her children, make sure they come back and do their assignments. You understand? Because I have to feel much you see, if we can just have a soft landing by our government, that's important so that every home will have responsibilities to their children, because I'm not here don't become a woman. Let me say a woman. Only Papa my child the woman offend for one. A woman, nígbà yí àwọn ìyá ti wá.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Wọ́n máa pọ̀ wá sẹ́yìn. Wọ́n máa fún ìyá wọn wá kiri ọjà lọ ní. Ta ló ń pọmọ sí ṣe bí wájú là ń gbọ́mọ sí. Bí ìtọ́kọ́. I understand all these things that are read on the social media all affect our negatively. Only a 14-year-old grandson name. In fact, I am ninja. I mean, he's an introvert. He doesn't mix at all. He's an introvert and he's growing. The growth rate is very, very rapid. You understand? People you went to come and say, slow. So we have to put him in the care of the teacher. But then Joe, if I take care, if I look on this child, and make sure where she might heal, she let back, she go back. I mean, Chemo, that kind of thing, because it's an improvement. We should do sharing, we should do sharing, but maybe to share it, the multi-man introduces our program. So the name is only. I know. The little Maria, I know.
Ẹ ṣé ìyá mi.